Welcome back to Kalyan's World. This is the second part of My Mother's 66 by Kamala Das. Hope you all enjoyed the first part. Here we discuss advanced questions from this lesson and their answers. If there's a question asked on the title, a question related to the title, like comment on the title of My Mother's 66, you see that the poem is all about the poet's relationship with her mother, the complexity of human relationships, her attachment to her mother, and her childhood fear, the fear of separation. And you see, the poet's mother accompanies her. She was sitting beside her and dozing. Though she was old, weak, and exhausted, she accompanied her to see of her daughter. She accompanied her to the airport. So the relation that she had to her daughter and the poet had to her mother is quite evident in this poem. So the title is very apt. If we analyze the structure of this poem, you see that it's in a single sentence. The whole poem is in a single sentence. Lines are not separated with full stops. So it's a single sentence poem. It indicates a single thread of thought interspersed with observations of real world. So interspersed means mixed or placed here and there. See the single thread of thought, the fear of separation, the childhood fear that the poet had, mixed with observations. You see the first observation while she was traveling to the airport. While she was driving to the airport, she saw her mother, doors open mouthed, and her face was ashen like that of a corpse. And this observation gives her pain, and she realized with pain that she was as old as she looked. And she wanted to put that thought away, kind of escapism, and she looked out at young trees sprinting and merry children spilling out of their homes. Later, at the airport after security check, she looked back at her mother again. So the second observation, her mother's face was wan, pale, as a late winter's moon. So here we see how observations of the real world are interspersed with the thought, a single thread of thought. That's why the poet doesn't use any full stop in between to separate the lines. And here you see two letters highlighted, Y and T, young trees. So actually, they're sprinting trees, and that too young trees with capital Y and trees with capital T. Why does the poet use these capital letters? I think it is to juxtapose the movement, the stillness with the stillness associated with the mother's face. The movement is juxtaposed with the expression on the mother's face, this action like a corpse. The movement of the children and the trees is in stark contrast with the stillness associated with the mother. The movement is in stark contrast, the stillness associated with the mother. So capital letters are used to emphasize the contrast. And here, when we come to the last part of this video, you see single word lines, the single word lines. You can see pain, pale, old, Amma, smile. In five places, the poet has used single words as a line. The first part you see, pain. That's a predominant feeling in the whole poem. It fills her mind. So you see pain. This is not a coincidence. The poet uses a technique of using one word lines or single word lines. Here, pain to show the intensity or the magnitude of her pain. And the second time, she uses pale. The first thing that you remember about the mother's face is how pale it is. And then the other word, old, her old familiar ache, her pain that she felt was familiar and it was old, rather recurrent in her life, started since her childhood. So the word old is given as a single line. And the next single word line is Amma. Her mind, her heart, everything is filled with the feeling Amma, the word in her local language from mother. Instead of using the English word, she uses the counterpart in her local language Amma to bring in the intensity of that or the true meaning of that word. And the last word used is smile. And here the smile is her armor against her fear, against her state of mind to protect herself. So it's like an armor. So she uses the single word line here also. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe the video and share it. Let it help your friends too.